Yeah, we are on the internet. Rebecca said she'll be here in a second as well.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, welcome.
Finished up my Eldritch Blast cheesecake.
Nice. How'd it turn out?
I haven't tried it yet. I mean, it has to sit in the fridge because it's no bake. That's like the only downside. It's like if you bake
Ah,
it,
gotcha.
you have to wait a couple hours for it to cool down. But if you do no bake, it doesn't have eggs or gluten or anything in it, but you have to wait for it to like get cold in the fridge. So it still takes the same amount of time.
Fair enough.
And for my next trick, I will go to my character sheet and see the update. So I got invited to this one shot, and I didn't realize it was with a GM I'd never interacted with online, with 4 people I'd never interacted with online, and then I didn't know this. I said yes, but I didn't know the system. I didn't know the level. I didn't know the setting. I didn't have a character. I didn't even have the date, and it was 7 days away. And I found out that it was on that date 3 days from the date. So I like accepted it on like a Saturday, Sunday, found out on like Wednesday that it was for Saturday.
Oof.
And then I was like, I don't have anything. So like I physically like walked in / sat at my computer without my character sheet finished because I'm like, I've never been a level 15 warlock before. And even like during the game, people are like, you've played warlocks in more than one campaign. How did you not know that you had 3 beams of Eldritch Blast? I'm like, because I've never been a level that's had more than 2, bitches. Shut the fuck up. Hopefully we're not live.
We are, I'm afraid.
Oh. Well.
Sorry, I meant to say something, but thought I'd let you finish. My bad.
Sorry. I'll stop.
Oh, no need to stop.
No, because I know that like we start at 11, but like
Yeah.
our game starts.
No, yeah, I gotcha. I just was hoping to cram something in terms of...
I've got the stream up.
Thanks,
But was
appreciate
it
it.
fun?
It was a ton of fun, yeah. So the campaign was fun. It was meant to be a one shot, and it like he sold it to us as like a 4-day beach resort with the volcano kind of rumbling.
Mm-hmm.
And then our breakfast on the first day got crashed by the like 12 different things. And so that's where we ended it. It took about 4 or 5 hours for us to get through that. I unfortunately was unconscious for like 4 rounds because I kept failing my constitution rolls. And so like everyone was like, you're so like mellow, like I would be raging right now. And I'm like, I don't know, like I'm not a barbarian. I don't know what you want from me. Like like I'm just like my default is calm. Like I feel, if anything, I feel bad for you all because there was only 3 of us outside of me. I mean 4, but without me it was 3 of them fighting 12 things. It's like, and I had another GM who was watching and like kind of like guiding me along and just saying like, he's like, I don't know how much you are against like meta or whatever, like metagaming. I'm like, I am not against it. Like, tell me what to do. Like, I have never done this. I've never played with these people. I need guidance.
Yeah. Have you only played Warlock so far?
I've played bards before, and then I switched to warlocks this year because I wanted to like explore all of the options.
Mm-hmm.
Which, so like I don't have like the fiend on every single one. Just so I could get more familiar with Warlock before moving on. But I have a friend the GM who was talking to me during the game, and he's like, we need to get you in a game with something else. And I was like, fine, I'll go with a druid. So I'm going to go with a Loxodon druid. Do I have a campaign? No. But apparently I just like making character backstories.
Oh, same. I have lists. I've been really I really want to play a monk. Just because it's fun.
What kind of monk?
I don't know. I just want to play monk. It's just so fun to like figure out how that works because I've only played a cleric.
Yeah, our cleric that we had in our campaign last night was so badass.
They're badass.
However, I did give my warlock plane shift, which I had really wanted to use. The downside is that you have to have a tuning fork for it, and I couldn't use it. And I'm like, oh, this would be so good, because there's a point in the fight where everyone's like, we're all going to die. This is going to be a TPK.
Mm-hmm.
However, we pulled through. They pulled through, and then I got up, and I just like role played it off as being like hungover, because when we were able to role play the first time, like one person went and built sandcastles, another person went and played volleyball, the third person went shopping for like beach gear and got like a floppy hat and stuff like that, and then I went to the bar. And so yeah, it was fun. And so I just played it off because it was like this giant fishbowl sea breeze to go along with the fact that my character is a Triton.
Okay.
But Tritons are cool. Like, I've been learning a lot about Tritons, and they are a really cool class.
Sure, I believe you.
They're kind of like mer people, but they're not mer people.
Yeah, no, they are a lot of fun, and the resistance to cold damage is nothing to scoff at either. Ah, god damn, my back. Alrighty, look at chat. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to. I took that by accident, Vietla. Sorry about that. Remove.
Where am I at? Oh, I need to go to Foundry. I go offline for like 3 weeks, and I'm like, how to D&D.
Yeah.
How to?
Yeah, this is gonna be a real seat of my pants session. I'll be straight with you guys now.
That is my favorite. Let's do it. Kill or be killed.
Morse and Violet, you guys hear okay?
Yeah, I can hear okay. You probably can't hear me. So.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure I was audible and there was good connection and all that jazz.
No.
Violet?
Okay, I've got Foundry up. I've got my
Okay, cool. She
D&D
texted me.
Beyond
She
up.
can hear. Super. Well then, without further ado. Hello and welcome to DC30 and our Mythic Odyssey of Theros. D&D with an ancient Greek twist. I am your Dungeon Master, Electrum, and I'm here joined by my lovely band of adventurers. We've got Virla as Hilira, the Cleric of Ronos, Rebecca as Bithynia, the Warlock of the Sphinx, Morse as Skotinos, the Blood Magic Sorcerer, and Violet as Amalia, the Leonin Fighter. It is, but we've had a short break due to conflicting schedules and one thing or another, but we're back hopefully, and looking forward to get stuck in. Last we left off, I believe, you guys had taken like maybe a couple days or so to yourselves just to buy a couple things and figure out your next move. After having defeated Thalgor, the Eater of Hope that had plagued Meletis and nearby towns, with his horrifically addictive liquor that he had concocted. But with his slaying, you guys came into a not inconsiderable sum of money and made a few different purchases. One of them being a Pegasus, and in other respects, some nice and fancy magic items. So that's, I believe, where we left off. I'll say that we come to the morning of the next day. You guys chilled for another night in your various respective abodes. And we'll say, for the purposes of simplicity, you all meet up at your usual watering hole, the Flowing Cup, and are having breakfast at the moment. So, Tempest, or my band of adventurers, what would you like to do?
Remind me, Hilaria and I crashed at our house before going to the bathhouse, correct?
I believe so, yes. Well, so were we going to the bathhouse? I forgot how we ended last session.
We went
Oh, no,
to the
so
bathhouse. We
you
were
guys
in the
went,
bathhouse.
yeah,
and
you
there
guys
was
went to the bathhouse. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to make sure I hadn't forgotten about that. Yeah, you guys went to the bathhouse, and for the purposes of summation and sort of just to have a clear point to launch from, I've said that you guys crashed back at your house again, and are now having breakfast
on the
back.
roof.
Yep. And are now having breakfast at the Flowing Cup.
It's much nicer having breakfast with y'all when after we've gone to the bathhouse than before. I'll tell you that much.
Did we also get our clothes cleaned, or are we still like in our bloody armor and stuff and clothes?
I was able to change back at the house. 'Cause it's
Would
my
you
house.
have gotten your clothes cleaned in that time? You would have had time to.
I probably would have.
Yeah, then, yeah.
Okay, great. I'm all fancy again. Okay.
But he's like, well, I don't know about everyone, but I am. Yeah. It's like when you yourself smell good that you don't really pay attention to others because you only pay attention to your own funk. And so you're like, well, that's a you problem. I smell good.
I would probably say that one of the many thaumaturge wizards who inhabits Melitis would probably have been standing next to Scotty and cast prestidigitation out of pity.
Just hose the satyr down.
Yep.
It's like a car wash. A satyr soak, if you will.
The wizard just looks at Scotty after having cast it and says, I respect that, but this is a public dining area. You have to share it with other people.
So, okay, so breakfast is decent here. Does anyone have any ideas for where we should go next, or what you'd like to do? Kind of fun. Figured out the stuff about the liquid and the poison.
I don't know what you're talking about because of internet, but I thought we were gonna check the board. Like, I don't know. People were talking about a board. I don't know. A board. Also, I need to go back to Penelope's because I need to pick something up.
Mm. Does anyone else have to go anywhere to pick up any items?
Oh, Scotty, that's nice. You're gonna accompany me. Great.
For
Wonderful.
anyone watching, Scotty has said, I have work to do at Penelope, so I shall accompany you.
Great. Shall we go now? And I put up my arm.
I presume he takes it gladly, and you guys hop, skip, and step on your way to Penelope's. Alright, so, not that short while later, you guys, find yourselves outside Secret of Sundries once more, and, a familiar assault to your senses greets you as you walk into this, little ramshackle shop of concoctions and potions. And, this time you see, Penelope just in the middle of just shelling what looks like some kind of horseshoe crab type thing. Just grabbed this, like, this thing's clearly dead, but she grabs the legs and just pulls the entire contents of the shell out of the shell in one. Oh! And she nods to Skotinos, who resumes his work at his workstation, and sets things down aside and... yes, Hilira, what can I do for you?
I move in really close, like we're almost face to face, and I whisper, which I will not do, but do you remember those teeth I needed to make like the little banner? Have you gotten them yet? I don't remember.
Yes, it took a moment. They didn't come out easy, but I was eventually able, and she just plops a small linen pouch down on the ground, on the countertop.
Okay. Thank you. Do you have any idea where I can get someone to, like, make it a banner?
There are various artisans and crafters of jewelry and other fineries throughout the city. I would advise you seek out specifically a Triton artisan. They deal more in shells and stones and ivory, so they would be more likely to possess the skills required to make the various holes and things like that.
Okay, I'm gonna go and do that. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. You look wonderful, and I stealthily try and take the teeth with me so that Skotinos doesn't see.
Oh, okay, make a sleight of hand check. Alright, probably wouldn't have been... So... She leant in, so you would have noticed, a sudden drop in the volume of the conversation. Oh, say, you would have... Or would you have? Yeah, I was about to say, you're, trying to gauge your attentiveness, so, yeah, she kind of just pulled her in and murmured a little bit more than anything else. Scotty waves at you as you exit the premises.
I wave, kind of like obviously hiding something. Even though I rolled a 21, I'm gonna say I'm not that good at it, but I wave.
Your call.
We were whispering about you. And I leave and try and find a Triton.
Alright, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh. A 9?
Yeah, it's not terribly difficult. You head down to sort of more the oceanside area where the Tritons tend to sort of are more likely to congregate and live. And there's a few different shops just along the Riviera, if it would, or the pier.
Okay, I just go.
And cool. You walk into one at random. You see older Triton male who has these kind of like globular catfish whiskers that look like jowls that sort of just cascade one after the other, almost like these droopy tentacles down his face in what almost resembles a beard. His skin is a teal color, and he has a aquamarine singular fin that goes down across his head and down his back like a sail. He's wearing naught but a loincloth and sandals, and you spot him in the middle of grabbing what looks like a small piece of agate and carefully with an iron spike drill a hole through the stone.
Hi!
No!
Oh, sorry. Did I just start?
No, not at all, not a problem. What can I do for you, young lady?
Well, I have these teeth. And I showed the teeth. I opened the satchel a little bit.
Goodness
And
gracious! What did these belong to?
I don't know. I know his name. Do you want to know his name? Or do you rather not? I don't know. Do you want to know their name?
Sure.
It was, I don't know, but he was called the Ether of Hope. And I got his head, and...
Did these come from a person? They don't look like they came from a person.
I don't think they were a person, per se. I can ask if you want, but I'm going to have to consult my friends. I'm going to have to make a phone call for this, because I don't
You know what? I feel like the less I know, the better, so, don't worry about it.
Okay, so what I want to do, I have a friend and he has a pretty workspace, but it's not very pretty, and I want to make like a pretty banner with the teeth. So I just would like some like screws in there with like little hoops and then a chain on them so he can hang them up at his work desk.
You have interesting friends.
Yeah.
I suppose that could be accomplished. How long would you want the cord to be?
I don't know. I don't know how many teeth there are. I don't know how big his desk is. I really don't know anything.
Well, there are plenty of teeth, but, the question is how much do you want them spaced apart? Because if I put all the teeth together, then it's probably going to be, and he holds up sort of like a ring like this, almost like the circumference of a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But if I separate them out with about an inch in between, it becomes like this large.
Would I know what would fit Scotino's desk? Like his workspace?
It would probably about 3 feet, a meter and a bit kind of thing. It sort of would fit. Not like he's got a sort of teeny tiny little alcove. His desk almost resembles one of those desks that's got the chair attached to it that school children work at. So
Yes,
you wouldn't need
I
something
need-
terribly long.
I need like 3 feet, a meter, and a little bit, you know? You can
Okay.
space them out, but I just need that.
Okay, I reckon I can do that. Let's see, the leather cord, the workman's, 2 gold, and we'll, say meet me back here in an hour, or come back in an hour.
2 gold? Sure, I'll give you 3. That's nice.
Oh, most generous. Thank you, my dear.
And I'll be back in an hour. I didn't catch your name.
Danroth.
Denroth? Okay, well, I'll be back in like an hour. Thank you so
My
much.
absolute pleasure. Have a lovely day, dearie.
Bye!
And he, gets to work. Easy enough. So whilst that is happening, Bithynia, was there anything you wanted to do this morning?
You know, I think I might want to go to the shop, if possible. I don't know if there's a place to get health pots or something, or I don't know.
That would
Maybe
be
not.
also would be
You know what? Never mind.
Penelope's abode. That would be Secret of Sundries, the alchemist / herbalism shop that she runs.
You know what? I would like to do that. I actually cannot. So I forgot. I bought a Pegasus.
Yeah.
And I have no gold.
That will do that.
Hopefully I can fly away because I'm not using potions. Priorities, okay? Priorities. I prioritize the Pegasus over potions, okay? I'm guessing, can I,
Great. I'm gonna feel real guilty if I end up accidentally killing that Pegasus.
What is my Pegasus name again? Rowdy?
No, it was something like Plummet or something like that.
Plummet.
Yeah, it was Plummet.
Okay. I should write that down in my book. Plummet is your Pegasus.
Named so for his love of doing like hawk dives for fun.
That's good. It's better than the day I got him and I kept calling him something else that was equally wrong. Okay, so Plummet. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep eating. You know, we've been on the road for a while, and I think I'll just stay here. I don't really need anything. We've already spoken with people. I guess maybe I could look around. Is there anyone here that I notice or recognize from the university?
Make a perception check. So you see the guy who did the prestidigitation on Scotty. He looks like he's from the university. He looks like he's capable of casting magic. But with a 3, I'll say you don't see anyone other than that guy.
I have a +3 to that, and so I don't think a 6 gives me any more information on who this is.
Afraid not.
I suspect he'd be like, John, is that you? And he's like, no.
No.
I think that is definitely not me. Okay, sorry. I guess I'll sit here and enjoy.
You do see the one guy who make a history check.
Okay, 24.
Yeah, you recognize him. His name is Ethon, as in Aethon. He works primarily in evocation.
Avon, is that you?
He's a mid-Dolmadus. Oh, Bithynia!
Oh my
Yes.
god, Dolmas? Dolmas? Dolmatus.
Dolmadus. And like leaf-wrapped rice things.
Rice, lemon, pepper, delicious.
Yeah.
Super good here.
Yeah.
Yes. My third serving. Myself. How are you doing this fine morning?
Little preoccupied with a few projects, but nothing too worrying. I hear you're the talk of the town at the moment.
Ooh. Hopefully for good reasons.
An eater of hope. That he gets up with his plate and joins you, unless he senses any adverse reaction from anybody. He's an older gentleman, bit of a obvious bald spot, and a scraggly beard that's very clearly missing a section that is comprised of scar tissue. Sits down happily enough, and says, yes, I'd very much like to hear that story.
Well, how much time do you have? Do you need the minute to win it story version, or?
I'm pretty much stuck until I can figure out how to explode a particular thing, so
Explode?
yes.
Is this for a new project, or is this something you've been working on?
Well, I was tasked with attempting to find a more efficient form of explosive projectile for Milesian ships.
Oh, that is quite interesting. And what is your success rate so far?
Well, it explodes just about as well as the ordinary explosive ballista bolts, but I'm trying to figure out how to make the enchantment simpler and less costly.
It's good to be frugal, to save. And what currently is the component that is costing the most or the most difficult to procure?
The pyrite soil.
Pyrite. And is it just in short demand, or is it hard to get, or?
It's a bit of a trek to Mount Avelos, which is not the most hospitable environment, as I'm sure you know. And on top of that, yes, it is hard to acquire due to the fact that it is most commonly found so close to the volcano's fire, and difficult to extract in such a manner that would leave it still valuable.
Yeah. So not only is it a matter of getting to it, but getting it while you're there.
Correct. I
Curious.
had I'd been experimenting with sheep's tongue as a alternative, but it isn't nearly as explosive.
And what was that again that you were experimenting with?
Sheep's tongue.
Sheep's tongue. And what are the results on that so far?
It doesn't explode as well, and it makes a horrible mess. And not like the good kind of horrible mess.
And you said this is for the ships as well? You said that the application?
It is to enchant ammunition, so it could in theory be used on an arrow, but we were seeking to do it on ballista bolts for the moment.
Interesting. And who's backing your project?
A few different benefactors, Molpadia being one of them, being Master of War, and the other main one was, sorry, 1 second. Lastanis, Master of Ships of Meletis.
The Master of Ships, and the first person was, you said the God of War. Who was it again?
The Master of War, Molpadia, the woman. You met her briefly when you guys were tasked with going to the mountain to stop Thalgor.
Well, I don't know what is on my agenda. I have my handy dandy notebook because I'm always ready to document things. Maybe I can help you out with that. I don't know. I have to speak with a few people that I've met recently, but they seem pretty solid, and maybe we can figure something out so that you don't have to rely on sheep tongue.
Not to worry, I abandoned the sheep tongue as a substitute. At the moment, I am looking into refined topaz, but the results that are proving inconclusive. It is, I mean, I wouldn't say no to the assistance. If you do find yourself out at Mount Velus for any reason, sure, could always use more pyrite.
To the mountain.
Sure, the city would happily reward you with a few. Do you have a ship?
I personally do not. However, I know people who do. And
Amalia raises her hand, being next to you.
Some arrangements could be made.
Impressive.
Uber XL it, we'll just figure it out.
Okay, well, if your ship's ballistas need explosive ammunition, then or incendiary ammunition, that is, sure the city could part with a few of the harvest.
I think that this is something that might interest them, and considering there's more than one person with the Master of War and the Master of Ships involved, we may need to speak with them. I'm guessing before this is solidified, but I think that would be worthy, and it would be.
I don't know if it would be necessary to speak to them directly. This isn't. We get the pyrite okay enough. It's just seeking alternatives for the sake of progress. It's not necessarily.
But you said it isn't topaz.
It's what I was looking into at the moment as a potential substitute material component.
And you said it was Mount
Velus is where the pyrite is harvested. Most of the pyrite we acquire is imported from Akros.
And you said the topaz is from?
Oh, the topaz is from a few local mines.
Gotcha. Oh, well, is there? I mean, in this project that you have going on, is there any way that, or any items that we could potentially procure for you that would make this help more beneficial or expedite the process, maybe?
He thinks for a moment. Possibly, let me, and he pulls out a, wax tablet that he's been scrawling on. Let me just consult my notes.
You check your notes, I'll check mine.
This is also the DM having a quick look. I had something for this.
Meanwhile, Couplet's enjoying some food on the table, helping themselves. Come on.
Okie dokie, Moss. Oh, there would be one thing, but, I mean, only if you're sure.
And so,
I, had been looking to experiment with, an alternative, which was rather than incendiary explosive bolts, corrosive bolts.
corrosive bolts. Okay. I've inventoried some of these back at the university, although already expended and not as corrosive at the point that I got them.
Yes,
and
no, these would, the idea would be for them to eat through the bow of a ship in seconds. I would need, most of the corpse, or at least the internals, including the corrosive organ of a, iron scale hydra.
Iron scale hydra.
Yes, the, slightly larger, more deadly cousin of the regular hydra.
And you need the core of an iron scale hydra. I'm writing this down correctly.
Well, as much blood as you can bring back, and, its, corrosive organ.
I am new to this a little bit. I'm not completely new to this. I'm just curious. If it's corrosive, what container can you put it in so that it doesn't corrode that container?
Glass?
Glass? Glass containers. Containers.
Yeah, just... IRL, acid doesn't melt most of... There are plenty of glasses that... types of glass that acid won't melt.
I'm a social science major.
That's fair.
Don't ask me about math or science. Okay, so glass containers, in a lot. And have you ever got a shipment of this blood from an iron scale hydra before?
No, never needed the stuff before. It's part of an idea I had, and I could bring the idea to fruition if I had access to these materials.
And could we bring it back alive so you could do like a blood drive thing where you could just tap it occasionally, or are they not like
it may have it may make some protests to your attempt to bring it back alive for such a purpose, but if you can bring it back in a way that isn't dangerous, I am not going to say no.
And how assured are you that this will work? because it's a lot of work to orchestrate like these glass vials that we need to bring, and the ship that they have has like room for the people who are like rowing or what have you, and so I just need to make sure that the items that we procure, because I can't procure them on my own,
I
afford
wouldn't
them.
think so. I've heard a tale of one of these beasts tearing a stone giant limb from limb.
Well, okay. Dead or alive, but probably better off dead. How many glass containers would you recommend we bring to tap the blood from this? Or do you just want us to bring the core? Is the core dead? I'm so...
Everything, ideally.
Just ransack the iron, just ransack it and bring it.
If you would rather just bring back its entire carcass, that would also be acceptable.
Noted. Okay. Easy mode. Okay, and okay, I think this has been really helpful, and I'm hopeful that we can really make a deal with this. And
Yes, I had put in a commission to the Daughters of Nelia, but if you want to pick it up instead, that's also fine.
the doctors.
The Daughters of Nelia.
Daughters!
The Daughters of Nelia, you would know, are a organization of acolytes who worship Nelia, goddess of the hunt, and they run the Lodge of Nelia, which is specifically a shrine to the goddess of the hunt that also serves as a place where various different adventurers and adventuring groups can take commissions or requests on creature bounties, basically.
Okay, so we need to go to Daughters of the Hunt. Daughters of...
If you want to do this, Daughters of Nelia, they you would know exactly where the lodge is. You've even been there once or twice.
I've been there. I know them. It's like a sorority, right? Like, they're over there somewhere.
Kind of, yeah. It's a sorority with a lot of skinning.
Okay, well, you know, I am a full yes. However, there are 3 other people who would also... they're making their way back now, actually. I think I hear them, like, somewhere off in the distance. They're loud, but if I can
I mean, please, don't feel like you have to go out of your way necessarily. I mean, even if the daughters make you a better offer for something else, then by all means, take it. This is just one of the things I'm considering. Basically, I wouldn't want to be an imposition.
Well, I am a fan of first come, first serve. However, I'll talk it over with the group, and whatever they decide, I will get back to you and let you know. Does that sound
Very
fair?
well. That is
Okay.
perfectly fair. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I must go. I must return to my various different projects. It was lovely seeing you, Bithynia. And he takes his leave.
She just continues jotting it down, trying to keep Couplet from eating more stuff off of the table.
Amalia, would you like to do anything?
No, okay.
All right, then. I'll say, for the purposes of brevity, that, So, Hilera, where would you have gone at this point?
I would have picked up my banner and have gone back to Skotinos and Penelope.
All right, Scotty. After a moment's time, it was a little while later, maybe a couple hours later, you see Hilera return, carrying a leather cord that is inlaid like a world's longest necklace with all the teeth of the Eater of Hope.
Look! I made this for you! For your desk!
So as you see Skotinas sat by the table, probably at this point he's about 3/4 of the way through one of various experiments he's kind of got on his table. He looks up at just the wrong moment as something goes off and kind of then glances back at the providers looking. It's now gone sort of what was once like a sort of like almost perfect uniform color now starts having like almost like the bit of scum you get on the top of of like really bad cooking, and he sighs and then looks up at you.
I'm
What is
sorry.
this?
I made you a
Sorry.
banner. I went to this Triton, and he was very nice, and I might have also disrupted his work. So this is twice now today I've disrupted
Scotty,
somebody's
the
work.
spill that just happened just goes and just ignites. Penelope rushes
kind of-
over holding a small little like Grecian urn of that's got various different runes inlaid on it, and she uncorks it, shakes it a couple times, and this white foam just comes out and immediately extinguishes the flame.
That's a shame. You're gonna have to get that replaced now. Penelope. They're only good for one. Oh well.
Well, I've learned to keep these on hand. You think I developed my abilities in a day? Let's have a look here. And she has a look and she points a couple things. Wasn't she said? No, you're almost right. Just off by 1 drop, I believe. But an excellent attempt.
I think that was my fault. I'm sorry.
These things are incredibly delicate, dear. It's no trouble at all.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As I'm kind of like start cleaning away, I'll kind of gesture you over and go, "Oh, come, show me what it is that you've made then."
Look! I made you this. It's from the Eater of Hope. Because your desk is so boring. Like, it's plain, it's functional, but I thought it needed some teeth.
Okay. Sure. Maybe around the edge, perhaps, in the space that needs to be mostly clear. Is I can. You know what? I'll take it.
Okay.
I think I have an idea.
There you go.
Scotty, can I ask, did you settle on what you were going to do for your level 8? Sorry to...
I did indeed, and that's what's I'm going to come towards this because I'm trying to update that on D&D Beyond as well. And this
Okay.
probably makes sense. So, yeah, I take it and I say, yeah, I might need some time to think about it, but I think I know what I'll do with this. Thank you.
We could also make friendship bracelets or necklaces, but we'd have to get it remade. I met this really nice Triton. He could probably remake it if you don't like it. I'm just gonna go back to the group, and I just leave.
And as once you leave, like by this point, I've mostly cleaned up the table, and I kind of just almost like half paying attention to the table, and kind of as I watch she leave, I'll bring out the this banner that's kind of, as it's kind of been used, and I kind of look it over for a bit, and I reach out with one of the finer knives I've got, and I start unpicking just a couple of the stitches before I bring out I don't really know what the best description of this is, Electrum, in terms of that, but basically whatever would be the equivalent of a sounding horn or like a sort of like an announcer's trumpet.
Okay.
And I bring it out, and this is something that I will have.
So apparently they're called a salpinx, but yes, there's literally a kind of horn. Yeah.
I'm going to call that, if that's okay, I'm going to call that my proficient instrument, if that's good for you.
By all means.
And what I instead do is I then gently tie.
I just saw. Sorry, I just.
Yeah. And I create almost like a standard bearer that goes below the suffix, and I take a few moments just to make sure that the teeth are clearly 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 part of the look and kind of fall nice thing neatly. And I'll just look and inspect it for a while, smile to myself.
You swear, although it sounds crazy, that you see the rope tighten and like conform to the way you've wound it of its own accord, ever so slightly. It seems to like just shift, but like a millimeter, unprompted.
And I smile
And
to
is
myself.
now sort of firmly gripping.
Perfect. And I will gently roll that up, place it down by my side, make a note to add another song to my songbook as thanks, and then I get back to work in Penelope's office.
Very well.
So, for reference, I've now taken a level in Bard.
I saw, and you now have. I'm looking at your additional spells. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think I need to sort out the cantrip because I was doing it as the internet went. But I'm putting the bits in now as we speak.
No problem. Very well. So, you admire the large horn for a second. You spend some time admiring. You watch what he does. Sorry, Heliada, you watch as he winds it around this large salphinx, which is an instrument made out of an animal's horn. And yeah, you remark to yourself, yeah, that's very Scotty. But it works and is quite interesting in how he manages to sort of wind it around the thing, and it sort of has this Scottiness-y quality to it, this sort of beauty and macabre beauty.
I go back to the group a little bit sad because he just kind of ruined my gift just a little bit, but did also make it really cool.
Fair enough. Scotty, at this point, I'll say, are you looking to go back to it would be about the mid-afternoon at this point. Are you looking to get back to...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking to try and get as many days towards the proficiency as possible. So I'll be doing it until there's another plan. I'll be just finishing a day's study in the proficiency.
Okay, very well. You resume your studies. And Penelope comes over to you again and sort of resumes her teaching and stuff like that. Let me double check something, sorry, just while we've got a second. What was the rule? Let's have a look at Xanathars real quick. Apologies to anybody watching, just double checking how much having a teacher brings that down. Trading. Oh no, so it's just with the services of an instructor. Okie dokie. Very well. And that day comes to also you resume your studies. Heliada, is there anything else you wanted to get done?
No.
Amalia, are you looking to do anything?
Jesus Christ. Okay, has anyone checked the board?
The board?
Yeah, like the notice
No,
board?
the board. Yeah,
The bounty
hasn't
board,
been
the
checked.
sort of general jobs and notice board.
Yeah, has anyone checked that? If not, then I will go and skip down to the notice board.
Cool. We'll say that you were doing that sort of simultaneously with the other stuff that was going on. So you, after bearing witness to this conversation that Bithynia had, you head down to the bounty board. You see a few things on there. There's one which was, it's Need help moving house, we'll pay in food, thanks so much. There's a few different ones like that. The ones that another one you see that catches your eyes and looks potentially interesting, says, there is a big one, sorry, I forgot. There's one big, poster that's sort of like, slightly obscuring a couple of them and is, definitely looks to be more well made. It's got a whole bunch of filigree and made to look quite nice. It's not so much a notice as a poster, which is, "Welcome, warriors of Theros. We want you. Queen Regent Taranika of Akros has called a mighty tournament to be held in celebration of our recent victories in the Deadlands. All are invited to try out their mettle and earn a spot in the legendary Temple of Triumph. Grand prizes for the winner and runner-up. Seek us out in Akros. The event is to be held on the 25th of Necrologion."
Is there like a little tag thing that I can take?
Sure.
Yoink.
Yep. Another one which you recognize the style of the, like, rather than being on a piece of paper, this one seems to be written on a small piece of hide. It says, "Nazros Longspeaker of the Longspeaker Leonin clan requires an escort to Oreskos." And you see another one that catches your interest, a big piece of parchment that's scrawled in, like, charcoal. "A couple hill giants have laid waste to my farm, devoured half my sheep, and made off with the rest. I have a modest pot of gold saved up. It's yours if you can bring me back my remaining sheep and teach those brutes a lesson. -- Dasros at the Outer Farms."
Outer Farms. Cool. And the other one was a Leonin escort.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go tell the guys what I found. But before I do that, can I go and find out some more information about the tournament thing?
Yeah, you can find out more information about the tournament. Where would you like to find that out?
Well, I have to go to a place because it says seek out.
Yes, so it said to seek them out in Akros.
Okay, where's Akros though?
Akros is about 2, maybe 3 days journey north of Meletis towards the end of the Cataclysm Mountains and Mount Velos.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's so long, no.
In a easy way to describe it, if you think of Meletis as Athens, Akros would be Sparta.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Isn't there someone that knows about it in Meletis?
Probably plenty of people.
Like a scout or something.
You are aware that you would not likely need a scout in order to find out more about the city. I'll say make an intelligence check.
Oh god, she's not good at those. 1 second. One second. Okay, what am I doing? Intelligence check.
Yeah, just straight intelligence.
Okay.
Which I think is just roll a d20 for you.
Uh, 6.
So, you start out trying to have a think, but you get too preoccupied like, Akros. It's a funny word. So, it's unclear who would be best suited to talk to you about Akros, but, you know, people travel to and fro from that city every day. It's not, it wouldn't be hard to find someone who could tell you even a little bit about the city.
Question.
Yep.
Would the guy that has the gym know?
The guy that has the gym?
Yeah, the gym where I always go and scare people.
Oh, maybe.
Can I trot that way and see?
Yeah, sure. I do not remember who this guy was, so I'm gonna make something up.
I think it was just a gym I always used to go to, and he was like the little person I used to get the punching bags from.
Alright. Cool, so you head on over to the gym, and you see a different gentleman behind the counter today. You see a older Miletian man with a beard, a chin-strap beard that's quite curly, as well as his short shock of curly brown hair. He looks to be in about his 40s or so, very lean and athletic, large aquiline nose. He's in the middle of carving something out on a piece of parchment. He looks up. Welcome. You are looking to train?
Not today, but I saw on the notice board there was something about a tournament. Do you know anything about that?
Yes. If I were 20 years younger.
Yeah, sure.
Queen Taranica has called an impromptu tournament of sorts. Similar in many ways to the Akron games, but this one seems to be more about fights specifically. All the events are to do with battle. Not, there won't be any feats of strength like the javelin toss or anything of that effect.
Okay, so not the Olympics, but basically to see who the best fighter is, I'm guessing?
Something to that effect. It's, seems to be, from what I can tell, more for entertainment than, any kind of festival or celebration or any grand, proclamation of who is the greatest.
That seems pointless.
A good fight is never pointless. Besides, the Akrons, when they don't hold back when it comes to prize money for feats in the Temple of Triumph.
I guess not. Thank you.
No problem. And as you walk away, Amalia, you've heard of the Temple of Triumph. It is certainly the largest and a battle arena of mythic status amongst Theros and the lands beyond. Many great warrior has come to fruition and fame, firstly, within the Temple of Triumph. It is a shrine to Eros, god of war, wasn't god of victory specifically, and an enormous coliseum, where the Iran Games are also held every year. Sorry, not the Akron Games, the Iran Games, which, yes, are the Olympics.
Question, is it Hilira that has sending?
Yes, it is.
Okay, can I go find her, please?
Yeah, easy enough. We'll say it's about dinner time. You guys reconvene back at the Flowing Cup.
Is it just the three of us, or is Scotty there as well?
Scotty, Scotty vacated, so we'll say I'm gonna give him the day of training, and we'll say he's back with you guys.
Okay. So as we sit, I'm just gonna ask everyone how their day was.
Alright, she asks you guys how your day was.
It was pretty good. I got to speak with someone that I hadn't got to have a conversation with in a while. How about you guys?
Well, I met a really nice Triton. That's all I really did.
What was his name?
Denruth. He was very nice. I think he lives by the water.
Interesting. I don't remember him, but there's so many people here. The city's exploding, you know? Hard to know everyone. And do we have any propositions for you, or do you have any information for things to do? Places to go?
I didn't really ask. I got a gift made.
Oh, what kind of gift?
One that was not appreciated.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Oh yeah, Scotty, you're there at this point as well. I'm going to say you can mark off the day of training, and for simplicity's sake, you're back with them for dinner.
So how was your day, Amalia?
Well, I went to the board.
Oh,
A Leonin is seeking an escort. A farmer is seeking help because someone stole his sheep. And also something about a fighting tournament in Akros. So
Sorry, R4LYAC, I guess that's pronounced Raliak. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
hi.
The notifications work. I heard a bring.
oh, that's fun.
So
What?
you're
Wait,
you're the first person to set that notification off. Genuinely, Raliak. But
Yay.
yes, back to the game.
So stolen sheep, and then a fighting tournament?
So there's a fighting tournament that I kind of want to do, but apparently it's only for entertainment purposes. So I'm kind of not sure about it. And then
is it in the town?
For
Is it
clarification, DM's point, you when he said for entertainment purposes, is that there's still prize money and things like that involved. It's not like a charity match or anything like that, but it has it's not tied to a larger meaning as far as they're aware. It seems to have been almost called impromptu.
okay, I shall relay that to the group.
Okay, but is it here in Melites? Could we check it out?
No, we would need to ship that way.
To Akros?
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Well-
I'm not really one for unsolicited violence.
I have a proposition, potentially.
Okay.
Potentially. The colleague that I had run into had said that he is invested and engaged in a potentially positive thing for us and other people. He's working on a project for weapons, and he wants to make a corrosive dart, I believe, or a corrosive bolt, which would be really beneficial for the city and or anyone who is in combat, I guess.
And guinea pigs to test it on.
You know, if you volunteer for that, I would recommend it be at the end if we so choose to go on this journey. However, no, he needs an item for it. He needs an item that specifically, if he needs blood. He said that we could bring the carcass back, but that's a lot of work. There is the, it's kind of like a sorority. It's the Daughters of Nelia.
Okay.
Like of the hunt. They kind of have their own place that we could go talk to them if you were interested. They might have another thing for us. I don't know what their situation is. I stay away from things like that normally.
Myself and Amalia will be very familiar with them. In fact, that is currently where we have sent a couple individuals through in the past, and we've actually performed work for them before as well. Galatea, I believe, will be returning from a hunt for Forces Neela shortly, if she has not already returned. I don't know if you've met Galatea yet. Lovely.
Well, and I don't know if this particular mission to get the Iron Skull Hydra blood would be through them, but I know that I'm pretty sure that they would have information on it, if not something else. If we didn't want to go with the stolen sheep situation, or oh my gosh, wait, stolen sheep. I hope that wasn't him. Never mind. Okay. She's like thinking back to the conversation about how he had acquired tongues and was not going. Never mind. So in this situation, would you like to go check out the commission? See if there's something else? If no one.
How long until the bout, Amalia?
How long until what now?
And how long until the competition? So would we have time to do something and then still make it to Akros?
Well, it was just only a thing that I saw, but so the options are escort Leonin, help a guy save his sheep and his farm, and also are we getting a weapon or blood?
We're getting blood so that the weapons could be made, and we would be paid through Meletis, because this would be something that benefits the city, and or whoever could make use of corrosive bolts in their
And a point of
weaponry for
clarification,
protection.
on your stub, Amalia, that you pulled off, it says that there's a shorter spiel version of it, and it's on the 25th of Necrologion.
And what day
What is
it
the date
now?
today? Yeah.
It is the 17th of Necrologion.
Well, personally, I would say we should probably do something that would help Meletis.
I agree. I don't think the tournament is really something we should do right now.
And also, if we were going to do it, it would only be me, so I'd rather do a group thing.
Yeah, probably better.
I have soft hands.
No, we may find our paths head to Akros in a few days' time anyway. How far, Electrum, how far is the journey to Akros anyway?
You would know, Scott, it's 2, maybe 3 days.
Well, going to Akros wouldn't be that bad of a situation either, because he did mention, Athen, the one I was talking to, that there's refined topaz there in Akros that I could collect as well. I don't actually know where iron scale hydras are located, but that would, I mean, could get something. We could get the blood for
If
the
the
one thing.
opportunity arises and we get the chance for Amalia to compete, then I'm all for is supporting Amalia, wiping various flaws with various other individuals, and that would be a joy to see. But until then, I guess it's obvious. My vote will always be for the blood. So
Hopefully more from the Hydra than from you.
well, I'm also tempted to say this will be the first time we've done a commission involving acquiring something where we don't have to give everything back. So I can take as much blood as I like. So I'm quite happy with this idea.
I did propose bringing it back alive so that they could tap it, but he said that they aren't. Hydras are not usually collaborative.
Not a team player.
No.
Well, no, they have more heads than one, right?
3.
Exactly.
It is not a charm.
My mind flashes back to a really poor sketch that Scotinus once tried to make of a Hydra, but it just turned out to be a head with many legs.
It's unfortunate. It's like when you order a mimic from Wish.
Yeah.
Came out a little bit wrong.
You know what? I think we should conquer Meletis first and then move up north.
Conquer Meletis?
That's another subject. We're going into warfare now, are we?
No, I think we should help Meletis first by getting the blood or helping the sheep.
They're important.
I'm sorry. I'm
Off
not
of his
very
word.
tactful today.
Off
I'm very
of his words.
stressed. And
I
then I think we should never move up north, but that's just my opinion.
I think she's mad because Scotty didn't like her, present.
I hope that's not what you thought. He says as he now reaches out into his sort of like it's probably kind of been sort of like kind of sheathed under his outer layers, but doesn't probably obscure itself. But now I kind of unfurl it, and you see that effectively what he's kind of made is this. How do I pronounce it again, Electrum? I'm gonna get the phrase.
Oh crap! Let me pull up the tab again. Oh god, I think I looked in the wrong place. So, Salpinx is one of them. Salpinx.
Perfect. Salpinx. So I unfold the Salpinx, and I've now where the banner has kind of laid out now. You can kind of see I've now with almost like a very gentle.
Sorry, this is bone, right? Not is this like a bone horn or a metal horn?
Bone horn.
Keep talking. It might be called something else in the meantime.
What now? You will see here. Essentially, you last saw me destroying it further. I've now stained it with my blood, and I've kind of just put like a tiny little symbol. That
yeah, a Salpinx is made out of brass, I think. A keras is made out of bone.
There we go. That's the name I was thinking before. Perfect. And I have put it's like a slight circle that I've kind of sketched with blood. And very, very poorly. It was like I've been trying to write a logo, but it's then not gone really poorly. And I kind of hold it up and go. So my thinking was that eventually I'll put if we ever get if we do go for the guild hall and we have a guild symbol that I could put it there. But I really liked it, and I wanted to have something that I wasn't just looking at when I was working, but to carry with me all the time.
Honestly, I was a little bit upset about it, Scottinas, but I got over it because essentially you made it better. It's just upcycling. I don't really mind it. I just don't want to go to Akros, okay? I just don't. Just not right now. Please.
All right.
Okay, it might actually still be called a Salpinx, but never mind. We'll address that for next session.
I have a badass bone horn.
Yeah, you have a badass bone horn. Let's focus on that for the moment.
Yeah.
Cool. So, with that lull, unless anyone else wishes to do anything this evening specifically, I will say you guys turn in for the evening, resolving to explore different options and discuss this further in the morning.
Agree to disagree until tomorrow.
Alright, guys, go to bed, enjoy the benefits of a long night's rest, and come to meet up again and resume the discussion. It's a new morning. It is breakfast time. Today you've been greeted with a spread of different fruits for your breakfast, different figs and other things like that, which you're all just tucking into.
Could I go up to the tavern owner or somebody behind the bar?
Yes, so there's a female centaur who's busy cleaning things. Yes, my dear, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I read the board yesterday and I saw something about sheep that were going missing, and I just wanted to inquire if you knew anything about that, just because I wanted to get some more information.
I've heard about that. One of the local farmers who grows his crops sort of towards the edge of the city-state's limits near the Ferris Badlands.
Okay. how many farms are there? And if these sheep keep going missing, like, what's your, like, economy gonna be like? Is it gonna plummet? Are you guys gonna be okay without these sheep?
Well, they don't keep going missing. This is an unusual occurrence. Usually, hill giants aren't so bold.
Oh, okay. So there's But then the question is, what's wrong with the hill giants?
Well, they're big, cruel brutes. Maybe they just decided that they thought themselves above repercussions for something like this. They're not terribly bright from what I've heard.
Yeah, but you said they don't usually do this, so why would they do it now? You know, it's just kind of weird.
It's a mystery.
Okay. I don't
Sorry, I
like
couldn't be of
mysteries.
more assistance in terms of their motivations, but I imagine the farmer, if you were to locate his farm, could provide more information.
Okay. I'll try and do that. I have to discuss it first. Thank you so much. You made a lovely breakfast. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye! And I leave.
My absolute pleasure. Have a lovely day. She says slightly uneasily, not in like a bad uneasy, but in like a okay kind of way. Cool. So you return to the table.
Okay, so what do we want to do? I feel like we should do something. We should either save the sheep, escort the Leonin, go to across, or get some blood, you know?
You've already said you don't want to go to Akros. The only one that would be taking part in the competition would be Amalia, and Amalia doesn't seem super eager. So, unless
I should probably clarify that isn't actually the case. If I worded it as such on the poster, that's...
Would I
Well, so the
know
only
this?
one that we would mostly interested in would most likely be Amalia. So I guess that's fine. To be honest, our paths may eventually head there because I'm pretty sure that's where we've had people have head off in the past, but we don't need to worry now. The blood seems like a more pressing matter.
Sorry, you had a thing, Helira, as well? Sorry, just to...
Yeah,
keep track.
I was just wondering if I would know this, that it wasn't just a one-on-one thing.
Yeah, so it is a little odd to call a tournament just out of the blue like this from what you gather, but from what they're describing, it's a Colosseum-style situation, which could be, you know, it can be individuals versus individuals, but it can also be parties versus parties, or parties versus today's selection, which can range from bands of kobolds to cyclopses and more.
Okay. So we've got a few more options. We've got blood, escorts, save the sheep.
I have yet to hear from Galatea and the young girl that she took out for a hunt. I'm interested to see how they have fared. While we are there, we can find out more about this job. More information may help us make a more rounded decision. Or we can stay here and get drunk. Like, I'm happy with that. But if we want to do stuff, also they have wine at the lodge, so I could get drunk anywhere. So
Yeah, but like I talked to the lady that's over there, and she said that hill giants don't usually like interact with the sheep. Like they kind of have an understanding with each other, and now they're taking the sheep, and they don't normally do that. So either there's a war between hill giants and sheep, or or there's something wrong with either the sheep or the hill giants. You know, what if the sheep are turning into hill giants?
Okay,
Scotty, you
alright.
get this. You definitely get the sense something may have been lost in translation, but the general gist is there.
To be honest, I prefer this rendition. This works fine. This is the
Oh
this
yeah,
is the
me
stuff
too.
songs are made of.
This is the stuff that makes the DM say, "Well, it is that now."
Yep. Well, I don't think I've ever interacted with a hill giant myself. I know to keep clear of them.
Okay, how about this? We'll go visit the farmer and get as much information as we can, so Hiliro can stop having a panic attack about the sheep, and then we'll decide from there. Basically, we'll get all the information first and then make our decision. I think that's probably
Malia,
the smartest thing.
you've woken up reasonable today. What gives?
I don't know. I just want to be, smarter about our decisions. Last time, we've been doing a lot of weird things. Okay, we walked into a room once. I turned into a really teeny tiny little lion. I don't like.
I remember that. Oh, and then there was a big cat, but it was just a regular sized cat.
Yeah, and he thought he was like the king of the house, and then he was really mean to me.
All right. Where is this farmer?
I honestly can't remember. I'm gonna have to go see the notice board, and then we can make our way.
Well,
I just heard outer farms. So we need to go to the outer farms near the forest.
So he would be towards the limits of what is considered Meletis's city-state purview, right sort of on the edge of where the Four Winds Plateau would begin, in sort of the Lagona area. I misspoke earlier. I said Theros, that's wrong. Theros is the one closest to the mountains. The Lagona, hinterlands. He would be, you gather, maybe half a day's walk. Maybe more, maybe about a day's walk.
We can make a move now, or those that want to do a last-minute shop can do. I think I've had a decision on what I'm going to scribble on this banner for now, so I might do that while everyone decides, and then we can head out. Say, leave in an hour?
Yeah, that's good.
Alright,
Does
an hour it is.
Do we still need anything? Does anybody, before we go, we might go into battle, need healing potions? Who has the healing potions? Do we need to distribute them?
I might. I don't know. Actually, could. I'm so sorry to be in position. Could I make a quick detour before we go?
Sure, where do you want to go?
I think I need to do a little bit of soul searching.
Also, sorry, do I need to put a spell in the helmet? Does anybody want to put a spell in the helmet that we have?
We should have done that before. We probably should have done that before last night.
Who is gonna take possession of the helmet? I'll let you retroactively put a spell in it, but who's just so for my basis? Who's?
I thought we talked about me having it.
I think that's right. Yes,
And
I don't know
we're
if
going-
anything in it.
But I think that we were leaning towards it being something that could heal and or be anything other than Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, because right now Sending's in it.
And sending was in it, and then sending was used by Calliope.
Sending was sent.
Sending was indeed sent. But we tested it. At least we knew it worked, which was good.
That's true.
It was one size fits most, so.
Well, healing would probably be the best thing to have in there.
So you need me to put a spell in it, right?
Well, that is how it
Or
works.
does somebody have healing? Look, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how this thing works.
Okay.
I'm confused by it in
Basically,
general.
we can take a spell within our party that we have.
Yeah, but is it like a one-use spell?
Yes,
Like
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So imagine basically what happens is imagine you have one of your spell slots, you take that and you put it in the hat. And then you rest a night and then you get your spell slot back. But that individual one shot is sat in the helmet ready for someone to go pew 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 with their mind powers and activate
Pew,
the
pew,
item.
pew.
I get it now. Okay. I think
You know,
I
I
get it.
definitely think the indication for when you use it, you have to put two figures to your hand, you have to do the whole pew pew pew.
Yeah,
That's gotta be
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I would say, and then you could put up to a third level spell of any kind into it. But then, yeah, I imagine Bithynia would be the one that would keep hold of it. Unless anyone else does.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Not for the DM, but for Scotty.
Mhm.
What do you mean by soul searching? You're not leaving me too, are you?
No, not
Oh
at all.
God. Oh thank God.
It was more something I've been thinking on for a while in terms of my own talents. I guess.
Which is.
I guess maybe Calliope's rubbed off on me a little bit. Not in that way, Amalia. Come on. But I remember the evening Calliope left, and I was having a great time in the tavern. And some point between euphoria, the garbage, and being unconscious, I could have sworn something. I don't know if you don't use magic, so I don't know if this would make. But when you ready yourself for a fight, there's something in you that kind of maybe your fight and flight stirs, and you go, right, I'm ready, and you feel ready and prepared, and all your years of finesse and hitting the balls of string. I'm joking. Prepare you for combat. I felt that with Drink from the Vine, and I want to check whether or not it was just a drunken fluke, or if there's something more to it. I can do lots with bloods, and my blood is powerful, but I want to just see if I can do something else. I'll be super fast. I promise. So if you say now, I'll leave now. I'll check, and then I'll be back, and if I need to think more on it, I can do when we're traveling. But could you all
Do you want me to come with you?
Do you mind?
No, I can come with you.
All right. Yeah. We won't be long. But yeah.
Basically, prepare yourselves, and we'll be right back.
Cool. And I'm going to head over to the Temple of Arca.
Very well.
By the way,
Easy
as
enough to
we
get there.
exit the door, can I turn to him and be like, and for the record, my ball of string was purple.
He won't turn. He'll keep walking, but sort of like the sort of like the corner of his teeth sort of like perks up into a grin as we walk out.
But yeah, easy enough to do. And before you know it, you are in front of the Temple of Fatica with the statue of the Mistress of Secrets there as well. Point of order, sorry, just something else while we're at it. Marley, I finally got around to creating that the Giant Craft Ambusher, but it's not showing up in your D&D Beyond, which is annoying. Do you know if you have homebrew turned on or off?
I can double check.
Because I had a look and it seems to have it turned on. I don't know if you've got enable content sharing on though. I can't remember where to check that.
I can double check if I've got homebrew on and off. 1 second.
That would be under home, and it doesn't even look like the option's there. Sorry to derail it with this. Alright, we'll look into it later. Just for the moment, remember that you have that weapon. Do you remember what it does?
My axe, right? My new one.
Yeah, do you remember what that does?
Yes. Big. It's big. This one.
It also gives you a +1 bonus to hit and to damage.
Uh-huh.
Here's the link to the Reddit thread of it, just in case you need to consult it. But in the meantime... okay, so, yeah, Scotty, you see the statue, and you go in, I believe?
Yeah, I'll kind of pause outside and kind of turn to Marty and go, if you want to come in, you can, but obviously...
Maybe I should stay outside, just, out of respect.
Okay. He turns to leave, and then in almost like a reversal of personalities, he kind of stops, turns, and then kind of rushes over to you, gives you like a super big swish for maybe half a second, then turns around and walks in. And he will head over to sort of like the offering table, and will acquire once again. I'll try and do just briefly. I'll try and see if I can spot the old wooden offering bowl that I used last time, and see if it's in the
Make a perception check.
well. Because I liked it last time. It was just very nice.
Make a perception check.
12.
It takes you about 20 minutes, but you eventually...
I don't mean if it's like there as I take a quick glance, like I'll give it maybe 30 seconds, and if I can't find it, then I'll be
There's a lot of bowls, you'd have to look through them too.
I'm not going to take 20 minutes to find a bowl. That would be taking the big. But yeah, I grab the bowl. I will offer 2 gold pieces to. I don't know if I ever got their name. Who sort of the priestess that was kind of manning the temple when I was last there. I don't know if she's still there.
You that particular priestess is not here, but you do see a gentleman, a younger man. He looks scarcely older than 18. Completely shaved head and the beginnings of could be maybe a goatee.
Okay.
He's dressed in the sort of traditional dark green toga that would be accompanying of a priest.
I offer the 2 gold pieces as I take the offering bowl, and I don't say anything, but I kind of like nod my head.
Blessings upon you, follower. Takes them away. Presents you with a sort of bramble of incense that you can burn in the bowl at your leisure.
Yeah. And I will sort of settle myself down, not right in front of the statue this time, but kind of just a little bit off to the side, maybe like sort of 2 pews back, a little bit more secluded than the rest. Place the offering bowl down.
The boy sort of takes a position, not breathing down your neck. He's about 10 feet away, but sort of you get the sense that he's sort of taking position with you, and he sort of just casually begins a sort of chant that, after a few seconds just fades into the background of your periphery, but sort of seems to just give a little atmosphere. And this he begins to sort of be your hype man, religiously speaking.
I will take the last remaining vial of the blood. I've written it as the blood of woe, and I will as last time. This time I'm going to take the sort of like rest the vial in my palm. Take out my serpentine dagger and holding my hand over the bowl, shattering the glass, piercing the sort of like the fleshy part of my palm, the glass sort of like lacerating the palm, and the blood of the woe kind of intermingling and dripping slowly into the bowl.
Very well. The glass shatters. Some of it sort of scatters around on the floor, but does the right job. And yeah, you have several lacerations on your hand as a result as well, and it all begins to pool and mix and just drip into the bowl.
And I will also join in the sort of the chant, kind of under breath. Probably not. It's probably mostly in Sylvan, but it's probably mostly nonsensical. The closest tune I think that's coming to mind is probably Scarborough Fair, but much deeper. More like a...
What languages do you speak?
I speak. Some languages. Common and Sylvan.
Okay, you have no idea what language the boy is chanting in, but without breaking his chant, he hops quickly over and quickly gathers up fragments of glass that may have gone elsewhere, lest they hurt anyone else, and also offers you a small cloth to dampen the wound when you're ready. Just places it on the altar, and sort of just resumes his spot.
And yes, as I start humming this tune quietly to myself, I will allow my vision to fade away, and I will focus on the statue in front of me.
You grind the incense into the powder, into the blood, sloshing it around with one of the utensils provided to you until it's more of a paste than anything else. At your request, the boy offers you a, what are those things called that they use to, because, you wouldn't have matches. Those things that they use to light cannons, those, like, sticks of, those wick. Would it be called a wick? Those things that are always slightly on fire?
Yeah, that's what I was getting. It was like, yeah, the kind of, the long pieces of litmus paper almost that you kind of...
Yeah, he offers you a small cutting of the string that's going, and you drop it in. It erupts in a jet of green flames that blows your hair back slightly, and then once that's done, it sort of regresses into a pungent scent that wafts in a perpetual smoke from this bowl. And as you do that, you swear you hear in the ether a satisfied sigh. And as the room begins to waft more and more with smoke, I, as the Dungeon Master, would ask, just for clarification, what are you hoping to accomplish?
Seeking guidance on the new sensations I have felt, the newest urges I've had to embrace more of my satiric nature. The songs and revelry now call slightly more in earnest than they had in the past, and I wonder of what it could mean.
Very well. Your eyes lids grow heavy as the smoke begins to waft in throughout the room, and they never truly close. But you find yourself where normally any person could, conjure images in their head. They seem more vivid, particularly if you close your eyes. Not so much a vision, but imagining things in your mind becomes clearer, and you find yourself easy enough to let your mind wander, and you maybe get the sense that it's being guided ever so slightly, but it feels all natural to you. It just feels like where your mind is going. You see many things. You see flashbacks, visions of the past, of your journey so far, having met these people, that fateful day not that long ago, the trials and tribulations you went with them, you underwent with them, black cut words, up to and including the slaying of Tallulah the Shark Queen and the slaying of Thalgor the Eater of Hope. You see moments of you exercising your innate power throughout them, especially the moment in the Kraken or amongst the kobolds. And it all gets presented in sort of this singular bundle. And then you feel your mind drifting elsewhere, and you see more, I guess, for lack of a better term, typical images. Not of yourself, of your kin and family in the Scholar Vale, engaging in various different revels and tribulation and jubilations and celebrations. And that very much feels natural and feels like home, but not in a way that shuns the first set of images you've seen. You find yourself drifting across the Scholar Vale amongst the grass, and you see a single serpent slithering across. And you notice a series of unusual patterns across its green sort of scaled form. And it crawls amongst the rocks and seems to slither, and it looks up at a point just beyond what is it called? When it's like a ramp of a natural ramp of earth, when it's like at the top of like this hillock thing that sort of leads into the forest. And a lot of it is overgrown with thorns and brush, making it difficult to traverse, but it sees a single path, the one it's been on, the one that would go up a rock and reach the point. And then you see it turn, and it spies an alternative path that winds down a branch along a sort of uniquely shaped tree that would also reach that point. And it looks back at the path it's traveled, and it looks back at the path it's on, and it looks again at the other path it could maybe take. And it sort of just lies there for a moment. And that's when the vision fades. And as it does so, you hear Faraka speak to you. A sort of hissing, raspy voice whispers in your ear. Very simply says, "There are many paths. Not always is there a singular correct answer. Blessings comes to those with convictions in the paths they take, irrespective of where the path may lead." And almost unnaturally, the smoke seems to dissipate and thin, and then the bowl wisps out.
I let out a slow, quiet exhale, not realizing quite how much sweat had kind of formed on my brow throughout this, and I take a few more gulps of slightly less fetid air. And still without knowing the answer, but not knowing the answer is as part of the allure. I dab away at the wound I have, pop everything in the bowl, offer it to the boy was assisting, offer him a silver coin as well as thanks.
He nods
and
to you.
Not knowing how long has passed in that, I will then make a...
Oh, it's not been one of those. It's been 10 minutes.
Oh, good. Okay. And
I'll say as well, just for added clarity, you got the sense from the vision specifically of the Scholar Vale of the Revelries that you interpreted them almost as if an acknowledgement that you needn't be inherently averse to embracing certain sides of your nature, or in certain sides of what you are. You don't have to embrace them, but you don't have to avoid them either.
Cool. And as I just before I kind of stop at the door, and I kind of look down at my palm, which has now probably got a little bit, but not much there at all. And with a sort of like a resolute nod, as if coming to a distinct decision, with my thumb, I'll kind of rub against the healing wound to get just a little bit of blood in as well. And then, grasping hold of the bone horn, I will dab, or sort of like smear a gentle rim of the blood against the sort of like the end piece of horn, and then I will leave.
As you do so, you feel a sudden rush of wind behind you that seems to catch the horn just right, and a hollow but unmistakably distinct note, almost like a bottle, but a little bit more musical, just rings out. And just as quickly as it came, the wind is gone.
I meet up with Amalia outside. That is an
Easy enough
alternative way to
to
play the horn there.
have to deduct inspiration for that if you do that. To be fair, that's if there is a way to cast Stinking Cloud, it's that one.
Right. Did Amalia wait outside or?
Yeah. You meet up with Amalia again outside. Easy enough to do.
So, what happened? Scotty, did you do your soul searching?
Yeah. Yes. And I have a direction. I have no idea if it's the right one,
Okay.
but I think it's going to be fun to find out.
Okay. Should we go get everyone else and make our way to the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Amalia,
Well, you are kind of like my brother, so yeah.
All right, let's go and get the rest of them.
I'll just as well remind you, Scotty, specifically that if you guys are heading to the farm, the Lodge of Nelia is way closer. I recall you guys said you were going to do that, so just in the interest of top tip in terms of efficiency order or stuff like that, you...
Wait, was that the plan?
I believe you mentioned wanting to catch up with Galatea.
I did. It's fine. I'll catch up with her later. If we're alright, she'll forgive me. Also, I have no idea when she's going to be back, and it'll be fine. So no, we'll just go back to we'll meet up the group. We'll go deal with the farm first, and we can do the lodge later.
Very well. You guys reconvene. And paths lie before you. What would you like to do?
So, how did the soul searching go?
Yeah, I found a few actually. I'm sure they'll be very handy.
That's a little bit worried. Are you okay?
I am.
Inside check. Can I inside check?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
She's on edge from everything.
I'm on the edge.
It's the sheep.
It's the sheep. Or the hill giants. We don't know. I'm just now thinking of like a really woolly hill giant.
I hope I clicked the right thing. I dropped my pen. Yes, 17.
That's some good insight. You get the sense that he seems to be still a little confused, but is more at peace with his confusion.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I think that's it. Still his wacky self, still mulling things over that you might not quite understand, but content with his lot or what is to come.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see even with those souls, you're still yourself, I guess? Should we go? Is everybody okay? Does everybody have their stuff?
Are we taking the Pegasus?
Ooh. Could we all fit on the Pegasus? I feel like that's a bit squishy for the Pegasus.
I feel like you two would fit. I would not be able to fit.
That's all right. We can walk. It's not that
Make it
far.
work.
Oh, okay, fine. I was only joking. I'm not taking.
I-
to take your horse.
Please don't make this your TPK, guys.
Can we play? I feel like we're gonna kill it if we all get on. So can we just,
I'll go.
Yeah. When they said
fine.
blood, we did not mean the blood of the Pegasus. This is not going to end well. Maybe. Plummet.
You would know that. So there are chariots that Melifitis manufactures that, if strapped to a flying creature, is also capable of flying. It's a simple levitation enchantment that is available for purchase. You would generally, you've never seen more than 2 people per that chariot.
Can Plummet put someone on the chariot and on their back? Or no?
That would be... I'd need to double check the rules for carrying capacity and things like that, but possibly, although Plummet would be a very tired horse. Pegasus... I know a draft horse or a riding horse can pull 5 times its... Okay, Pegasuses do not have that capability. But riding horse Let me double check what it is. Specifically says for riding
It's a
horse.
lightweight.
Oh wait, it might not actually. Okay, an animal pulling a carriage, cart, chariot, sled, or wagon can move weight up to 5 times its base carrying capacity, including the weight of the vehicle. So that means, so for a Pegasus, which has a strength of 18, 18 times 15. So 270 pounds, so that's his carrying capacity, times 5. So it could pull... it would probably have to... It'd be better if it were the less armored head-to-toe people who did it. So anyone but Amalia, unfortunately.
It's always the case. It's fine.
I can also polymorph somebody if they want to. It's only for an hour, but we could make some headway, you know, and then start walking.
Could polymorph someone into a giant eagle and then strap them to the chariot as well.
Yeah, but I only have 2 times we can do that. I only have 2 for that spell. So if we get into a fight, I'm a little bit less useful. But
Like
we
this-
could do it.
It's no problem. I can walk.
We could also try and rent a Pegasus. Or
Yeah, I know where the stables are, and they have plenty there.
I feel like we're going off topic right now. Shall
We can just
make a
walk.
move?
We can
yeah,
just...
we should just walk. Well, Bithynia, you can scout ahead and plummet if you want.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Alright, so you guys are gonna walk?
Indeed.
Yep.
Very well. Easy enough, you set about. Cool, so yeah, it'll be about a 10-hour journey to get to, where you need to get to. Doesn't take too long, takes about an hour to leave the city's limits decently behind you. And so this is more peaceful rolling countryside, just beyond the city limits. A lot of the times you find yourself walking near the coast and the Labrian Canal, I believe I named it. And you see a few familiar sights here and there. Amalia, you spot the shrine that you guys left an offering in of the female figure. And is there anything anyone would like to do specifically during this time?
A barrel roll.
Easy enough to do. Make an acrobatics check. Using
Let's see
the
here.
Pegasus' statistics.
Well, mine's only a +1. Can I roll on mine, or do you want me to roll a d20?
I say, so the Pegasus is +2, so
Okay.
make a, yeah.
I plummeted. I got a 1, and then I add 2, so I got 3. We are not
Oh.
doing a barrel roll.
Okay.
Sandwiches.
Okay.
How
high were
you guys-
with the natural one? Okay.
Okay, you guys watch as Bithynia, who's been quite happily soaring about half a mile up. You can just peer as Plummet does a barrel roll. She sort of kicks the horse, the Pegasus does a barrel roll, and flings her clean off.
Reaction, how high is she?
She's about 500 feet up.
Okay.
Bithynia, you are in freefall.
Oh no.
Okay.
You want to do that on Bithynia, Hilira?
Oh wait, is the Pegasus still in
On
the
the
air? and
helmet.
She's just
In the helmet.
Oh, right, yeah, so we'll say,
Yeah.
so you've got a 3rd level healing word in your helmet, Bithynia.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and sprint to where I think she's going to land.
It's about... So she definitely seems to be falling slightly to your right.
Okay. Could I get there in a sprint?
Yes.
Okay.
So you, Bithynia, you have 10, maybe 15 seconds before you're gonna hit the ground.
Oh no. Could I do two things?
Possibly. What are you looking to do?
Could I cast haste on myself and then start running towards them? Where
Yes,
I
you
think
can.
they're gonna fall? Okay, great. I'll do
Yep,
that.
you... And you guys watch as Helena starts vibrating slightly, just her whole body. And then little shoots of electricity shoot off the wings on her helmet, and the sort of the bone of the heel of her feet, as in the ankle bone of her feet. And then she just runs and just easily overtakes you, Scotty, and just... So you get to a spot where you feel like she'll fall in a 20-foot area in this area somewhere.
Both of us, or...
Yeah, it wasn't...
Okay.
So, Helena definitely. It takes you about 6 seconds, so...
That's fine. But I have a round, as I were.
Yeah, you guys have one round before she's gonna hit the ground. What is everybody doing?
I hold my action until she is 60 feet away.
Okie dokie. Helena, what are you doing?
I can't do anything. I'll just keep a healing spell just in case she drops to the floor.
Okay. Cool, so Bithynia, you fall even further. And so she gets to a point where you're like, oh yeah, she clears the distance quite quickly. It's like 3, 2, and then...
Okay, and as this is like, I've kind of run in position, kind of like, we've got to get there. Wait. And then the thought in the back of my mind that's been kind of going away suddenly clicks. It's as if something suddenly clicks. And I pull out in... I initially pull out my serpentine dagger, and in probably the weirdest thing you've ever seen done, I stick my tongue out and prick my tongue.
Oh.
Without having the time to then do anything, I then just drop the dagger, and then I pull out the horn, and I cast Featherfall.
Nice. And as you blow into the horn, the droplets of blood on your tongue seem to aerosolize, travel down the horn, and as they erupt out of the horn, a storm of red feathers comes out that cyclones up and buffets under Bithynia, sort of like levitating her slightly, and then gently plopping her on the ground. And like a...
It doesn't finish very, like, it's still kind of caught by something, like, it sort of like ends perfectly, but then it ends like... And I nearly dropped the horn out of surprise.
I'm holding up a sign that says 8 out of 10.
Style points.
Well, that's new.
Well, I'm glad we stopped off first. You're right. Beyond
You're
your
right.
mortally shattered, pride.
Yeah. So about that. Maybe it will.
It
maybe
looked
we'll
really cool.
It was A for effort.
I was half expecting you to like do some like diving, swooping, but maybe it's a panic.
Well, there was diving.
Well, at least the good thing is his name actually means something.
The problem is that it's his name, not mine.
Maybe you should take it as like a middle name, almost like a nod.
I don't know. I think we may have to rework this. I don't want this to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because while I appreciate the ability and options that we have for this.
Where is Plummet, actually? I didn't pay attention. Where's he gone?
Oh, he's just 50 feet over that way with like eating some grass. Just looks up.
Can we not?
Not
go
even, he's
back
like-
down?
Not even, he just literally looks up in like a, hey guys, what's up kind of way.
Like that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Oh.
Well, okay. Well, should we keep going?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You-
get back on Plummet, but we're gonna walk with you guys.
If you could speak Celestial, he would be saying, I said hold on.
Yeah, but he didn't say that I should have a will written ahead of time.
Okay, maybe you should just hold off on the tricks until you and Tim get like better acquainted.
I'm pretty sure that was probably mostly Plummet inspired that.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely. I think I'm past the return deadline, but I'm definitely leaving them like a 3-star review.
If you want, I have a stone that I was gifted by Calliope that makes you talk to animals if you want to get like acquainted with Plummet
I
and
don't
not have you
think it
Plummet.
would work because it's a
Well, the thing is I actually do know Celestial.
Me too.
Did not know that.
I know Celestial and Common and Elvish Loxodon. Interesting.
So yeah,
I guess that's,
you are able to give
spells of my
verbal
own.
commands to, sorry, to cut you off. You are able to give verbal commands to Plummet, and he will understand you, no problem. So you can speak to him. He just can't speak himself.
However, well, in the future, I will jot it down in my book to use tongues so that I can understand what Plummet is saying and or going to do. Because I mean, realistically, I did say a barrel roll, and they
Did you
did
see
do a
anything
barrel roll.
before you fell, by the way? I mean, I know you were kind of caught off, but did you get to see anything of the view ahead?
Other than my life flash before my eyes, I don't know. Did I? Is that
You saw more rolling farmland ahead. You guys are definitely
Yeah.
going in the right direction, and in the distance you start to see the plateau and the beginnings of the more rolling hill-like and more wild landscape that marks the Laguna grounds.
Okay.
So we're gonna put that as a no.
I will pick up the dagger, make sure it's not bent out of shape. Feeling a little bit bad that I didn't pop it away properly and kind of just make sure it's kind of okay and clean it a little bit and put it away. And I go, well, I guess we carry on.
Your tongue okay?
All right.
Yeah, actually, that was said too enthusiastically. But yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't know if there's
Carry on.
any shopkeeps up ahead, but I may need a change of pants if there is an option.
I did not
It's a shame because we just got all cleaned up.
And on that note, you guys continue along. Can I get someone to roll a d20 for me? Wait, let me double check it. I forgot what I set up for this. Sorry, just before anyone rolls anything.
I don't know if I
I've already
should be the
done
one to
plenty
be.
of barrel rolls.
I was gonna say I may not be the one that we want, unless you want it to be low. I've got
Is that the first? No, it wasn't the first roll of the night, but still, it was an important roll nonetheless.
Thank you for saving my ass, my head, my everything.
I'm glad I decided on it on the train journey back.
Okay, yes, D20. Can I get someone to roll me a D20?
I'll do it. It's fine. Do 12.
12.
That's not bad.
Unless that's the number of kobolds that attack us.
Oh no.
Not again.
We
Flashbacks.
heard what you did. We heard what you did to Clancy.
Okay, so about an hour later, you spot a figure on the horizon of the road.
How far away?
Maybe about 1,000 feet away.
Okay. Still moving? Or is it too far to tell?
Make a perception check.
7.
Do you think it's coming towards you? Seems to be getting ever so slightly bigger.
Can we tell anything about it? Is it like a feminine frame, masculine?
You
like...
make a perception check.
Do I have
Is it-
disadvantage because of my exhaustion, because of my haste?
Why? The haste doesn't give you exhaustion, it just stuns you for a minute, doesn't it?
Nope. It says after exhaustion.
This is your Ronos ability, right?
Ah, yeah.
You didn't cast haste because clerics don't have haste.
Nope.
I think it's
Did I
didn't
write
Tony
that?
say- Is it a minute or an hour?
A minute. I wrote a minute.
We've been traveling for an hour since then. So then you probably...
Okay.
So it's probably that you do it, and if you do it in combat, then you suffer the effect of it. But if it's like you've got time to recover, and then we're going...
So the one I wrote, here we go. I don't have anything about a exhaustion, so I have Ronos' Votary, a piety plus 10 trait. You can cast haste with this trait. Once you cast a spell this way, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Charisma is your spellcasting ability for this spell.
Okay, so it's just okay.
Yeah.
Why I thought okay. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm good.
It's still haste, so you would have been stunned for was it a round or a minute? I can't remember.
If it's just the haste, like it's basically the haste spell. The only bit it says
Yeah.
is when the spell ends, the target can't move or take actions until after its next turn. After a wave of lethargy sweeps over it, so it's just like after you do it, you are tired for like 6 seconds.
Yeah, I think the point of exhaustion was from was it from the water in Thalgor, and you just never removed it? Did you suffer a point of exhaustion?
Yes, because you jumped. Did you?
No, I got exhaustion because I was mousetrapped. I don't know what that was.
That
but
was
I was
dramatic mousetrap moments.
Sorry, that was me.
Oh,
because I went with the cobalt eggs and I was
right. Yeah, you got crushed under that giant weight. Yeah. Okay, so that explains that. Yeah, I was like, exhaustion? I'm crueler than I thought. But then I was like, that makes more sense.
You go down a level of exhaustion after each good long rest anyway, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so you would have definitely run out by this point. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so make a perception check, not a disadvantage.
19.
It is feminine figure. It seems to be wearing a dress, and it seems to be running.
Running. I'm so tempted to run towards it because running is never good, but it's a dress. I will tell everybody. I think it's a woman that's wearing a dress. What do we do? Do we hide? Do we go towards it? I'm confused and conflicted.
Person's getting closer. You all can make it out now. It's a feminine figure in a lovely dress that seems to be torn and ragged and is running, like dead sprinting.
I go towards them.
Easy enough. You take off. And as you meet up with them, you see a young woman with slightly curly blonde hair. Of like a sort of harvest wheat kind of blonde. That's sort of come slightly... was done up quite tightly, but has become loose and untangled, and has what looks like the remnants of a crown of flowers on her head. That plus different other bits of filigree you see on the dress looks like a wedding dress. You've seen one or two before. This looks like a... maybe not the most expensive wedding dress you've ever seen, given your background, but it looks like a nice dress someone would wear for a special occasion. That plus the crown of flowers and certain other ornamentational jewelry she's wearing on her wrists looks like she's dressed for a wedding.
Okay, so I kind of walk up to her with like my hands up.
She runs up and plants her hands on your shoulder and says, "Hide me, please.
Darling, what's going on?
Hide me. I will explain everything. Just please hide me." She takes off and keeps running towards the others because you don't look like you're very. Make a strength check.
Okay, I have 0 strength.
Athletics if you're proficient.
I am proficient, so I will roll again. But I rolled an 18 on my strength. 17.
No, wait, so you don't roll again, you just add your proficiency bonus. What did you roll the first time?
17 and then plus 3 for my athletics. So that's a 20.
Okay, so, and she is going to roll a natural 4. So yeah, you grab a hold of her and she just, whiplashes. And she looks fervent and panicked, says, "Please! There is no time, they'll be here any second, hide me!"
I'll move to the side and try and find cover for at least her and me, because the rest of the team is not really responding, but I'll just be like, "Come on guys, we gotta hide for a sec."
The rest of the team is about 50 feet back, so you would be able to get to them relatively in short order.
Question: would we be able to hear this whole conversation going on?
Did you guys run with Helida, or did you...
When you ran off, Hilira, did you make it obvious, like you thought that it was a serious thing, or you just were like, "I'm going to run off"?
I said I saw a woman in a pretty dress, and because she was wearing a dress, I didn't think she was dangerous, and she looked almost distressed from what I could see in that moment.
If you said it was distressed and then you ran off, I probably would have followed maybe a turn afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
easy enough. So Scotty, you catch up as well, and you hear this woman has curly blonde hair, or not curly, slightly wavy blonde hair of like a harvest wheat color, and looks very clearly dressed for a wedding. You notice you recognize some of the ornamentation on the specific jewelry she seems to be wearing. What remains of a crown of flowers that has fallen apart slightly. Her dress is torn and dead sprinting, but it's unmistakably a nice dress. And she is fervently begging to be hidden with wide eyes.
Okay. I can do that. Do we want to help her? Do we?
I don't see a reason why we shouldn't help her.
You seem to be really good at judging if people are trustworthy. Does she seem okay?
Insight check?
Go ahead and make an insights check.
I rolled a 3, so an 11.
You just see a wide-eyed, frightened individual.
Yeah, I say we hide her.
Okay. It's gonna be like surrounding us. What's the countryside, or what's the grassland look like? Is it like dirt track, like like the dirt style as desert?
So there is a road which is dirt track. Yeah. But beyond that, you see rolling hills with pockets of forest and other things further inland towards where the the plateau, which you can see in the distance, begin.
The immediate earth nearby, is it like grass? Is it like proper earth and not dried crap? Like, almost soft earth.
It looks like this. So like that, your typical Mediterranean/Greek countryside that's near the ocean.
Let's have a look.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't realize that was a video. Let me find something better.
It looks like a plate. Wow, there's a lot of cloud.
Eldritch
damn it.
Airlines taking us there.
Why do videos show up in Google Images?
I know. It's fine. I got enough. I've got enough to go from though. Okay.
I will remind you guys as well that you have a very expensive staff amongst yourselves.
Question. Wouldn't it just be easier if I just stood in front of her? I'm sure I can hide her.
That, or I can give her the chance to escape. We can use the staff, or I can help her escape, and that's it. Staff or escape. Someone choose.
I kind of want to know what her deal is.
Okay, fine. We run out because
She is just fervently panicking.
Yeah, fine. Okay, since no one does it, I am going to step forward and I'm going to go.
Oh.
You have an hour. Don't panic. It'll feel weird, but you can kind of guide where you want to go. I take out my dagger. Okay, hold out your hand.
Yes, sorry, just as a notion. Yes, Bithynia, the Staff of the Mirage is in your inventory. It was purchased specifically for you.
Thank you.
You guys planning to use that? Or, sorry, are you doing your thing, Scotty, or are you guys going to use the staff?
Well, yeah, unless the staff comes out, I have a solution. But I'm happy if we want to use the staff instead. But
Bithynia?
I am more than happy to use it. However, I do not know if I have to use it on myself or if I can use it on someone else.
So it depends on the spell. The spells it can cast, so it has, I believe I created it. Was it, did I create it so you could add it to your inventory? Because if not, I can do that later today.
I have the Staff of Mirage option.
Yeah, so, you can cast Disguise Self, which is a self spell, so, but you can also cast Hallucinatory Terrain, Invisibility, and Silent Image, none of which require you to use it on yourself.
Gotcha. And so currently, what would we like to do? Because I have the ability to expend a charge. It has 10 charges. Depending on what we want to charge depending on what we want to cast will determine how many charges we have to use of the 10.
Probably the most likely one, I imagine, would have been the invisibility. Scatinus is the only reason Scatinus is based off how fervent she's begging. Scatinus was just getting ready to, if we didn't decide in time, he will do something instead. But if you go ahead and go, I'm going to use the staff, he'll get out of the way for you.
Okay. I will do that. I will take 2 charges and use that. We have 8 charges left on it.
Cool, and you've cast Invisibility?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, and just for the record, you get those charges back, or you get 1d6 plus 4 charges regained daily at dawn. So it's not a... Okay. It's not a bad magical item.
No, it was a very generous item.
She, it was generously priced, so it's only fair. But Bithynia takes out her staff and twirls it in her hand. These almost pixie dust-like opaline sparkles emit out of it as she taps, or she, sends this sort of twinkling sparkle energy forward, which comes to fall upon the shoulders of this woman, and she vanishes. She's still begging fervently. You get the sense she might hasn't noticed yet, but she you hear and you feel her, but you cannot see her. She's still grabbing you, Helena.
I'm still holding her. Okay. I say, darling, you are invisible right now. Nobody can see you. So I need you to calm down and please zip it. Do not talk as they can hear you, but they can't see you. Okay?
You feel the hands tighten around yours, but everything goes very quiet.
Okay.
And at this point, you do begin to faintly hear galloping horses that had been overshadowed by her frantic cries for help.
Okay. Should we try and move to the side to let the people pass?
It's him!
And just pretend like we're walking. Keep going. Nothing's going on. We didn't see a lady. We don't know a lady. And
Whatever, I trust you, please, just...
Okay, honey, but I was talking to my party.
Right.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. Should we just keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Could we, make, a little circle around her or something? Or, have Plummet, in front and then me
Doesn't
to
make
the
a difference.
side?
She can't be seen. We'll just keep to the side so the horse guy can carry on.
Okay. We'll do that.
Alright, so you guys gather up together on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Okay, so a short while later, you see 5 figures galloping on horseback coming down the same point in the road. They appear to be dressed in rich purple fineries.
Okay.
And as they get closer, Scotty, you and Amalia recognize the style of the... 3 of them are hoplites, clad in purple cloth underneath their bronze armor.
Oh, of course.
And you immediately recognize the style of the armor. It is unmistakably Felerian, which is the island that you visited to find the tomb of Barakos all the way back then. The island of Iska. The 5th figure, in the center of these 4 hoplites, is also dressed in purple fineries, but it's also inlaid with dark blues and just very opulent chiton and cloak and a sort of Caesar-y prince figure to himself. He looks to be about his mid to late 30s. Seems like he maybe... You get the sense he maybe thinks he's younger than he is, as he's sort of quite self-assuredly and gallantly, opulently galloping forward, but at the same time, his face is marred by a hideous scowl. And the horses screech to a halt next to you guys. You 4! What is your business this way?
We're helping the farmers that are losing the sheep. There's a notice. What are you doing?
We are in pursuit of a fugitive. A woman. Dressed in an azure dress.
I have no idea what
Wavy blonde
your
hair.
dress is.
I don't know what that is.
Azure is blue or green?
Blue?
I was about to say make a deception check, but no, I believe you guys don't know what azure is. And you haven't seen anyone at all come this way.
Well, if we had seen someone, wouldn't we tell you we saw someone and point to where they were going?
Make a deception check, Amalia.
Fuck's sake. Please be good, please be good, please be good.
You're fine,
I'm
it's
gonna
not
have-
my dice rolls.
I'm gonna have him roll an insight check to contest.
You can do it.
What
You
am
can
I
do it, you can
rolling?
do it.
Deception.
Yep.
Unless you're being honest, which we're not.
Deception, deception, deception.
I rolled pretty low, so... I rolled pretty low. So you need to beat a 9. You need to beat 9. You need to match or beat 9.
Okay, 1 second.
You are not
Oh, here we go.
Invis. The fugitive is, Bithynia.
Oh, I'm
The
seeing the question mark.
girl who
I
was
can't
asking
see
to
the
be
figure.
hidden.
I can't see it. What's the score?
18!
Hey!
Okay, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm just gonna stay completely quiet. I don't.
This figure who you imagine maybe isn't used to direct confrontation or is unaccustomed to people who actually batch at him, and maybe is unaccustomed as well to being in a place where he's not in control, essentially. Being basically told off by this leonine creature, this hulking lioness, takes him aback slightly, and he Amalia's sheer gravelness and just rage masks any insincerity that may have come across in general. So he just believes you're a fierce creature, and so he's like, "All right, to do you well to learn to address people better."
Says the guy that is basically hounding us with questions for no apparent reason, okay?
We are seeking an escaped fugitive who is expected somewhere.
Well,
What? Sir, I don't even know who you are, so how could I address you properly?
He notices something in your tone, Helira. He's like, "Oh, hello." Like someone who speaks noble. Thank you. Like, oh, I didn't catch your the eloquence of your tone there originally. My apologies. I am
Fun.
Lord Keraphon.
Good for you.
And you are?
I'm Hilira.
Helira.
Yes.
That is, fine attire you have there.
Oh,
Surprised
thank
I've never
you.
heard your name before.
Oh, I'm
God.
not from here. I've been traveling.
I understand, but, I think it's safe to assume we move in similar circles.
I'm sorry. Is this the new way that people court? They pretend they are looking for something and then they just stop and chat someone up? I mean, if it works, I'll make a note of it. But aren't you after someone?
Hey, Satyr, shut up.
Hey, don't talk to him like
I
that.
would mind your tone, sir. I would not want to get my fiancé involved, now would you?
Make a deception check.
You don't know my fiancé is.
I feel like this is gonna go bad quick.
I don't know if anyone does.
It's. I wasn't lying.
I know you...
That's probably my face is probably not.
Oh, sorry,
helpful.
okay, sorry. Make a deception or persuasion check. If I'm missing something here, I apologize, so I'll trust you. Make a deception or persuasion check, your choice.
I would say it's more persuasion than deception.
I rolled an 8 and a 9, so.
Which one was the persuasion roll?
9?
Okay, so what's your persuasion bonus?
5?
Okay, so that's a 14, right?
No, I rolled a 4. Plus.
Oh,
Can I help with
okay.
this? Can I help with this? I would also like to persuade because I'm quite
How
familiar
would
with
you
this.
how would you like to aid with this? If it's
I would also like
plus-
to persuade.
Okay, well-
How do you persuade? How do you what do you say?
Well, I guess it depends on how I roll.
Well, no, so tell me what you want to say first, and then I'll see if if a roll is possible.
Question.
Yeah?
While this rolling is going on, can I step forward, like, in front of him? So, like, kind of, like, intimidating him, basically, to not tell, like, my friends to shut
Okay,
up.
how far forward do you stand? Do you stand?
Like, right in front of him.
Okay, so you walk up to his horse, and he is a good meter taller than you on horseback.
Yeah,
You're a big
okay.
lion, but he's on
I'll
horseback.
glare at him.
The 4 hoplites immediately lower their spears.
if you want us to help you, you won't shout at my friends.
Make a persuasion check. Bithynia, what would you like to say to aid Helira?
Because I'm on my my Pegasus, correct? I mean, I should be about eye level with him, so I can go over there. And I would use I would name drop who I am within the city, and because we're still within our region,
Okay.
correct? We're still within our
Correct.
region, and so I know who she is.
Very
I know
good.
who the fiance is, and they should believe me.
Okay. All right. So you stand up, and he notices you for the first time. He seemed preoccupied before, and is a bit tunnel vision-y, mentally speaking. So he's like, "Oh," and yeah. Recognizes the color and the make of your robes and your scholarly attire, sees the Pegasus, which can generally mean one of a few things. All
Someone
roughly
who has
in the same
something
realms.
going for them.
Correct, and so he's like, my mistake. I did not realize you were on official Meletian council business.
Yes.
Helira, go ahead and roll with advantage. As a
And in
result of
response to Amalia's persuasion, I will also on division say, and for the record, who we are the ones that helped uncover that tomb in your lands. You know that important recovering. Heard of Tempest? That's us as well. So hopefully you've heard of us. Honestly, I haven't heard of you, but
One more time is the advantage, Helira. Sorry, I was listening most. Oh. I had heard about that.
So you've heard enough of us. We've not heard of you. Not a problem, I'm sure, sir. But if you're after someone, you can do it in a more polite manner, and we will be on our way.
Very well. And to be clear, you have seen someone come this way? You offered assistance. And he points to you, Hilliard, I believe you said, if you want our help. Or someone said if you want our help. He would point to that person.
I think it was me. I said, if you want our help, you're going to need to speak to us, sir.
Okay. You are able to assist us. Are you able to tell us which way this person went?
I didn't see anyone. Did anyone else see anyone?
I think Amalia meant if you can describe them a bit better, we can let you know, or let an appropriate official know if we see them in the future.
He describes basically the woman who is standing next to you guys.
I take out a piece of parchment and I use my script and I write the notes down and I go, okay, we have it. A good day to you, sir.
We are staying at a seaside manor, not terribly far that way. It's the only one. It's not hard to find. If you see this person, we will reward you handsomely for her return. And he orders his hoplites to resume, and they just keep galloping down the road.
That wasn't fun.
I quite enjoyed that, actually. It was really rude, and it was really nice teaching someone like that a lesson. Unlike
you guys did amazing. I'm so sorry that I screwed it up.
Nope, we're good. We're good. I had to name drop a little bit, but if I need to do it, I need to do it.
All I heard is a reward, so I guess we'll have to start doing a bit of bartering then, won't we, ma'am? I say to no one in particular, in a pointed fashion.
I turn to our invisible friend. Darling, would you please tell me what's going on now?
You hear a long, drawn-out sigh. He is a lord of Phaleron, a Phalerian lord. I was to marry him, but...
Well, I can see why you shouldn't marry him.
It wasn't for his winning personality.
If you could see her, she'd be basically gesturing to Amalia, and you hear her say, basically, yes, he is a cruel and stupid man, and I ran away when I saw a chance to. I've been running for hours. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Did say that that you were a wanted fugitive, though. Are you sure there's nothing more to this? Have you left with a dowry or anything?
I left with the clothes on my back.
Men, they have giant egos.
Thank you. Oh, wait. Yeah.
It's not a compliment.
You know what? The fact. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Especially this one. So, how did
you
you
might.
end up with him? Sorry.
My family are, reasonably well-to-do merchants from, Glossion, which you guys would know is one of the other city-states on, the peninsula of Theros, the one that sort of starts with Meletis and ends in Neoland, and Glossion is about halfway down there. My marriage to him was part of an arrangement, as these things often are. And, they bring you up your whole life telling you that this is what you were meant for. This is, the greatest thing you can aspire to, and, you believe them until you're confronted with the harsh reality. They always paint the picture of a handsome prince or bachelor, and you the idyllic woman by his side, and then they greet you with the cold, harsh reality. If I try to recover anything I could use to pay you, I would be discovered. My plan was just to run and keep running and then figure the rest out. I only have the clothes on my back.
There's a small little issue here. He's obviously searching for you. He knows what you look like. Is there any magic we could use to kind of change her appearance a little bit?
Nothing long lasting. I could.
You've already done so much. I wouldn't want to be in imposition. I can make my way. How long will this last?
We've never done it before, but
An hour. It lasts an hour,
yeah.
Which Bithynia would know. And she would relay that information. So yeah, it lasts an hour, and you guys are able to discern that. I can stay well hidden for an hour, and that might be enough. I will.
Do you have any hobbies or interests or talents you liked to explore when you were younger?
I was, all ladies are taught to sew and weave, and, it wasn't a passion or anything, but I was okay at it. I used to love to garden.
Tell you what,
I still do, but
if you ever end up in Meletis, speak to Penelope. Speak to Penelope. Mention that the weird satyr sent you, and that you're looking for work.
Penelope, thank you. I will stay as hidden as long as I can, and then I will walk that way.
Question. Would I know of anybody in between Akros and Melites that would be willing to help somebody?
The path between Akros and Melites is not a super populated one, unfortunately. Beyond the Lagona grounds and the Theros Badlands, you hit the Cataclysm Mountains pretty quickly, and then it is a pretty crazy rocky mountainous landscape until you reach Akros. Akros is nestled right in the mountains, and the only sure-footed path to it, or the only populated path, is the one path that goes through the mountains that has been carved specifically for commercial purposes and things like that. So, not really, unfortunately.
Okay.
Nothing reliable. There may be centaurs in the Lagona grounds, but that is a bit of a dice roll, to say the least.
There's nobody that I would have known from my path, my backstory.
Not on the way to Akros. Within Akros, sure. Akros itself, though, is kind of apart from the other city-states. It's isolated by the mountains.
Okay. Can I, drag her away, just a little bit and get her,
Yeah.
one-on-one? Okay. Look, love, I know this is hard. I know running is really hard. But I'm really, really proud of you. I will give you 500 gold to get you set up, and you run like hell. Okay?
Oh, no, I couldn't ask that of you. No, please. That's too much money. That'd be too much.
I will give you 500 gold, and you will run like hell. You will garden. You will find a lovely person that you deserve, and you will marry them because it's your choice.
I'm gonna say make an intimidation check, but only because of your choice of force. It's not a bad thing, per se.
Aggressive encouragement.
I get there's no such thing as a make an intensity check, so I'm gonna say intimidation. Or persuasion or intimidation, your choice, actually. I'll be fair about that.
I'm rolling so bad tonight, but I did roll a natural 20, so that's a 25.
Balance.
Mm-hmm.
She just goes deathly quiet, and if you could see her, you can't see her, and she realizes after a moment that, oh, I was nodding fiercely. Okay. I won't forget this kindness, I promise you.
Okay. If you ever find your way to Akros, you find Europa. She will help you.
Okay.
Okay.
Who are you?
My name's Hilera.
Thank you, Hilera. I won't forget this. I will make formalities, and I will seek you guys out again, and I promise I will return this kindness.
Okay. I hand her 500 gold best as I can with her being still invisible.
You feel her shaky hands take the bag, and then after a moment, the bag vanishes as well, being brought into the field of invisibility. You feel an invisible force put its arms around you in an incredibly tight hug.
I hug back and I'm crying a little bit.
It's an unusual sight for you guys. She is hugging air.
Should we give her
But-
a minute? Or
I think she's hugging the person.
Mm.
And
Hope
then,
so.
after that, just as quickly as it happened, 30 seconds later, she pulls back. I should make as much headway as I can whilst it is the safest to do so. Thank you, Tempest. I won't forget this. And then she's gone. You hear a pitter-patter of footsteps that gets fainter and fainter.
Hey, she remembered our name. Hey. I suppose we were trying to decide if we were going to stick with the name, but
Well, looks like we have to now.
I don't have to do anything.
Did we get her name?
I don't think we did.
You guys didn't ask?
Doesn't
Dang
matter.
it.
Well, shall we keep going then?
That was fun.
You know what? That wasn't fun. I start walking, still crying.
And Scotina's unfortunately not quite getting it. Was, oh, okay. And follows behind.
Alright. A few more hours pass as you guys, I presume for the large part, walk in silence. Unless anyone wishes to do anything, I'll say you guys arrive at the edge of what is considered the farmlands of the Miletian holdings. After about, all things considered, it's been about a 6 hours walk. And you see the point where there's no more farms, and there's there's like 3 or 4 like little farmsteads you can see scattered throughout the land. So whilst there's no, sign pointing to it, you presume it's one of them. And as you guys have been, sorry, just quick little rewind. As you guys are walking, Hilira, you're walking ahead, right?
Yeah.
As you sort of storm ahead, focusing, you hear a voice. Well done, my dear. Truly, truly well done. And your eye darts to the side, and you see him casually strolling next to you, as if he's one of your party. He's walking backwards at this point to like talk to you as well, and just appears in front of you. Don't worry, so you don't have to turn your head and look conspicuous. He's just walking backwards in front of you.
That really wasn't fun.
I know. But it is a mark of greatness if one can do things that aren't fun, so that others may have fun.
I know.
You did exactly the right thing, and I'm very proud of you, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me.
Much as I love all forms of praise, I can't take the credit for this one, my dear. That was all you.
Thank you. I'm scared.
What, my dear?
Of them. If they're mad. If they're disappointed. If they're mad.
What do you think?
I think they're furious.
And why do you think that?
Because running away from your duties, that's kind of shameful.
Oh, them. Sorry, that's the DM's note. I thought you were talking about the party for a second. That's my bad. Resume. Sorry, okay. May change slightly the words he says to you. Okay, cool. Sorry, go ahead. Yes. You meant them.
Yeah.
Well, can't imagine they're terribly happy, but was that a great concern of yours?
Yeah. You know, just like not ready to die yet. You know, it's just kind of like on a scale of 1 to 20, like how mad are they, you know? It's just, you know.
I know, and sometimes even the gods don't have the answers to certain things, but here's what I do know. And without breaking his stride, paying no mind to what's behind him, but seemingly without issue walking backwards, he slows slightly so he's a little closer and just takes your chin between his thumb and finger and says, "You are a remarkable young woman. Anyone who can't see that, can't see what a free spirit you are and what an extraordinary person you are, doesn't deserve you worrying if they're mad or not."
Thank you.
And that's not to say you need to write anyone off, but you'll find out when you'll find out. Until then, take comfort in knowing that you put yourself first, and that isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not a reasonable thing to ask for someone to suspend or outright forsake their own happiness for a lifetime just to appease someone else. That's not the sort of person you want to make happy, and I hope in time they see that as well.
Well, here's to hoping. I do have another question.
Anything, my dear? If it is within
What
my
was-
power, I'll...
What was her name?
I'm tempted not to say anything just to punish you for not asking the right questions. Tell you what, shall we make a wager?
I'm not sure.
He pulls out a single silver drachma. Heads, I tell you the name. Tails, you have to find her again and ask her yourself.
Okay.
Alright, Hilira, roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, it's heads. So he tells you on a 4 to 6, it's tails. And he says nothing.
Oh, frick. Okay.
I thought you were going to say on a 4 to 6, it's tails, and he takes your soul.
No. What happened?
I rolled a 4.
It lands on tails. Bad luck, my dear.
Another time then.
Quick as it came, the coin is gone. Well, look at it this way. An opportunity to, a reason to seek her out again and ask her yourself.
Very true.
Alright. I have things I must attend to, but rest assured, my dear, I'm never too far away. And he does one quick sidestep, and a couple times you've seen him done before, he breaks into a run, which in the span of 1 second accelerates so quickly that he turns into a golden, a humanoid streak that just zips away almost instantly. The rest of you guys who are walking behind her, you guys feel like a whoosh, and then nothing. Just a sudden gust of wind that lasts maybe 1/10 of a second and is quickly as gone. That buffets you guys' hair.
Ah, I got dust in my eye.
As you, Hilira, just finally hear just 1,000 steps in 1 second as he blasts off into the distance.
Awesome.
And as you guys approach, you guys spy a local farmer. You guys spy someone at the side there, a farmer with a big old straw hat who's in the middle of scything what looks to be a crop of wheat. Stands up as an older gentleman. Talking to him, it isn't him, but he is able to point you to the right farmhouse. It's just one of the ones, like the second one down. And you approach it, and this farmhouse is, quite visibly dilapidated. As in, it looks half caved in. And as you make your way towards it, I will say that is where we'll conclude tonight's session, and we will pick up approaching the farmers next week. All right. That is the session. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hilira, take a +2 to your piety.
Yeah. Fighting
and on that note,
one at a time. I love it.
And on that note, we are DC30. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.